Hey guys, welcome back. So now, man, like I ain't even got an intro for this. Like it's that crazy. So if you're new here, just subscribe, and after that, go and hit the bell for notifications. But I can't guarantee the next time we gonna see something like this. So let's go. Alright, so last when we left off, Thor and Galactus were about to face the Black Winter. But when we jump in here with Silver Surfer Black somberly coasting into the throne room on Asgard, it's here where we pick up, and it's done. It's been done. And it's like, wait, what? Like, what happened? But it's also here where it's not long before we start getting some context clues to how all of that had went down. Because first, when Silver Surfer Black gets here, Thor is drinking any and every single thing that he can get his hands on. And immediately the Surfer came to check on him, but the events that had taken place, like it was so crazy, like it shook the cosmos. And Norrin also mentions things like when he got here, he noticed that Thor had done some decorative changes to the Bifrost, which we'll talk a bit more about later. But at this point, the Surfer knows, like with Thor being alive and being here, what happened had to have been heavy, and if anyone can relate or understand to an extent, it's the Surfer, especially with him traveling throughout all time and space, with what we've seen him go through on his journey in becoming Silver Surfer Black. So he knows in Thor's case, heavy is the crown that has seen what he has seen. And it's here where he asked him, like, what happened? Like, Thor, what did you see? And this is what takes us back to where we had left off. And I'll never forget, like in the last video, you guys had me rolling in the comments. Because with the Black Winter arriving here, who is someone that Galactus had hyped up like he was here to destroy everything. But when it turned out that he was just here for Galactus, you guys was like, by Odin's beard. And Odin in the grave like, my beard. But then my guy was like, Thor looking at the Black Winter like, oh, so you the answer to whose man is this? Like you guys had me rolling in the squad hour. It was crazy. But it's like, it's here where we're at that moment of truth. In the Black Winter that's visually in his Thor form as he appears to Galactus, it's here where he continues to call him out. Like 50 on Instagram, like have my powers by Monday. But he continues to call Galactus out, like he spared Galactus so that Galactus would serve him and be the herald of the Black Winter. But instead, Galactus took that unimaginable power and he fled with it, hiding into this universe. And then from there, making his own heralds. And ever since, the Black Winter had been looking for Galactus for eons. And it's here where he's come to collect. And when the Black Winter had knocked Galactus down to the surface of this nearby moon, Thor then strikes him immediately after. And when this happens, on one hand, you have Galactus who's like, wait a minute, this guy's here to destroy the universe. And the two of us are the only thing standing in between him and doing that. And Thor's like, nah bro, like I'm the only thing standing between you and him. And before any of this goes any further, like you and me got something to settle. And at this point, Galactus is like, well, alright, then fine. Because here, he's accumulated all the extra power that's been hidden from him by the Surfer. So at this point, he's like, if he's got to go through Thor and then face the Black Winter by itself, then so be it. But then essentially Thor's like, okay, look here little gallon, let me tell you something real quick. Because he then reminds him, first of all, Thor took this power cosmic from Galactus. Galactus didn't give it to him. And as far as the Devourer power that was hidden on these different worlds, Thor also allowed Galactus to get it. But all the way up to this point, much like Galactus had did the Black Winter, he lied to Thor. So it's like we're noticing a pattern in the behavior of Galactus. And then when Thor tells him that he is the son of Odin, the king of Asgard, ruler of the 10 realms, and on top of that, god of thunder and the storm. And he tells Galactus like he's just an errand boy for a hailstorm. And when you compare the two, like by birthright, like who they are, like there really is no comparison. And it's here where Thor takes the Devourer power from Galactus, which is really kind of an all-father flex if I do say so. But with Galactus downgraded to his regular self and weakened, he tells Thor like we still gotta deal with the Black Winter. But at this time, Thor's just like, dude, listen, just stay here on the bench, sit this one out, you weak bro, and if you try to come up here and swing with the gods, you gonna die. Which for Thor's banter is really polite. But at this time, Thor lets him know like he'll handle this, he has no need for Galactus. And really whatever the Black Winter wants to do with Galactus, be that as it may. But Galactus doesn't like that, so he tries to make a move, and Thor shuts all of that down. And I'm telling you man, like in this moment when Thor just bathed Galactus in cosmic level thunder, and he starts naming all the planets that this is for, which are planets that Galactus had devoured, including the ones he had taken for the Devourer power. But when Thor said this is for Corbin, this is for Zenla, I kid you not, like I got choked up a little bit because my heart went out to the home worlds of Beta Ray Bill and like the multiple destructions of Zenla, especially back at the time when Galactus felt like he didn't need to keep his vow to the Silver Surfer. But in this moment, mostly for Beta Ray Bill, because back in God Hunter, we could tell he had been through a lot, and it hurt Beta Ray when Thor couldn't connect to his loss and his desire for vengeance. But if Beta Ray Bill could see how Thor is connecting now, as he sentences Galactus to death, Beta Ray would have been somewhere like, my man. And even like in this moment, like the death of Galactus, though it's not a light matter in the scope of the whole cosmos, at the same time it's not necessarily a huge thing because we've seen this happen before. And I can already tell right now, I'm gonna sound like I'm contradicting myself later on, but we'll get to that. But it's also here in this moment, this exact moment, like this is why the Black Winter had appeared to Galactus as Thor. But when the Black Winter then tells Thor like, it's done, I'll take Galactus and take it from here, and Thor's pretty much like, no, you can't take him because I'm not done with him yet. And for a moment, like the Black Winter, he's kind of confused. He's like, what you need Galactus for now? What you gonna use him like as a trophy or something? And I really kind of feel like for a moment Thor was like, I might. No. But the Black Winter, like he wants to know like what purpose does Thor have for Galactus? And he really stops in his track like, I'll wait, I want to hear this. Like please let me know. And it's then when Thor is just like, as a bomb. And Thor just uses all the power that he had taken from Galactus, all the Devourer power, and he combines it with the energy of 100,000 Devoured worlds, and he hits the Black Winter with it all in one strike, which indefinitely sent a boom throughout the cosmos. But when this happens, and at this point there's really nothing left of Galactus but just the shell of his armor, and in the case of the Black Winter, there's like this one little black snowflake left. And like with seeing this, like I'm trying my hardest not to make a Frozen pun here. But when this happens and Thor sees this, he doesn't let it go. And just before the Black Winter like withers into nothing, he asks Thor like, do you want to see it? Do you want to see how you die? And though Thor's answer isn't immediate, eventually he then says yes. But then it's here where we immediately jump back to Asgard and we see the new Bifrost decoration which Silver Surfer Black was talking about. And off the bat, like this has Thanos wins vibes all over it. But even with that, it's also here where we get to the question which the Surfer had asked Thor, which we had seen him ask in the beginning, like what did you see? And really that question was about Thor's death, like how he died, which of course was then the reason why Thor was drinking like a fish and crazy depressed after this huge win. But it's here where we see what Thor had seen, and when we take a look, man, it's Thanos. And even though it looks like Thanos wins, but at the same time, it doesn't. Because on his left hand, it looks like he's turned either Null or the Necro Sword into a gauntlet, and he's placed the Infinity Stones into Mjolnir in his right hand, but then also with Marvel zombies behind him. And it's like, man, when Thor had seen this, like you can just imagine like the voice of Josh Brolin playing through Thor's mind over and over and over, because it feels like the Thanos wins event is going to happen again, but this time in a much worse way. And it's crazy here because there's even zombie Inhumans, and then on top of that the Sentry as well. And you guys let me know, because it could be just me, but just thinking about the Sentry and going against a Thanos with like the Necro Sword, like if that's the case, it immediately has me thinking of like Null and Void and how insane that matchup would be. And not even to mention how this could be foreshadowing like what happens after Empire and the King in Black, because for Thor, how all of that ends, like it doesn't even matter. And when he tells the Surfer like what he had seen, he just says darkness and nothing more. But on the flip side, we know that the burden of this wisdom, it's going to haunt Thor until his dying day. Because through every event that happens up until the next Thanos wins, if you will, I imagine that Thor is just going to be going through the motions, because when it's all said and done, he's one of the last ones standing and he knows what it's going to come to. But then on top of that, I also want to talk about Silver Surfer Black for a moment, because in his case, where does this lead him? And if I had to imagine, like for him, it would be crazy to see him go on the journey of becoming the Fallen One, and that journey taking him through to Thanos wins millions of years in the future, and showing us the full course of how those events have played out, and also let us know how did this Hulk get here, like in life, because a lot of the time we just called old Hulk Maestro, which is not always the case, and I'm guilty of it at times too. But truly, in my opinion, with everything that we're getting with the Maestro origin, personally I like that to stay separate and just be a Maestro origin. And so now real quick, I want to give a special shout out to all the Patreons. Thank you guys for all of your support, and for anyone who's new here who wants more information on how to support the channel, I got a link below so you can head to patreon.com/dopespill. Alright, so in the spirit of trying to really keep this a Thor video, and just a Thor video, but I can't front, I can't hide it, like Donny Cates has me super excited about everything right now. And I truly appreciate, like, he's one of those writers with everything he does, like, everything matters. Because when we talk about Thanos wins, that still matters. When we talk about Cosmic Ghost Rider, that still matters. And with Silver Surfer Black, the same thing. And it even goes on to Guardians of the Galaxy and Annihilation Scourge. Like, it all matters. But that'll do it for this one, guys. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And feel free to share your reactions and thoughts both here and on Discord. Like, I'm here for all of it. So squad up in the comments, Spillmongers Connect, and we'll do it again in the next one. Alright, later.